Coming up, fourth quarter means summer is closer, but before the end of the year is testing season. Let's see how students are preparing for fourth quarter testing. Plus, we go around the district to see where in the world the Springdale students are traveling to this spring break. And downtown Springdale is having a major renaissance, but the Shiloh Museum has been a shining gem for over 48 years. All that and more in this episode of Springdale Today. Hello everyone, I'm Amanda Thadnackham.
And I'm Trenton Wheeler.
Welcome to Springdale Today. Today is Monday, March 13th, and we are 5 short days away from spring break.
That is right. We put the spring in Springdale and spring break.
We'll talk about spring break in our Choose Springdale segment, but first, our top story. We are approaching the end of the third quarter, and that means students and teachers will be getting ready for testing season. Raven Cooks traveled to J.O. Kelly and George Junior High to help us get prepared for testing season.
Everybody's looking forward to spring break and the last months of school. But what counselors and teachers really want kids to focus on is fourth quarter testing.
I think it's important that we all are accountable for our students and we all know where they are and where they're struggling, where they're growing and how they're learning. And this is a time when we can see where they've landed this year. We can compare where they were last year, how much they've grown, or maybe there are some areas where they haven't grown as much, and we can focus on those and realign what we need to teach and know how best to meet the needs of our kids.
Well, it's important to take end of the year testing so that they know where you're supposed to go when next year when you have to get your grades put in. They know what you know already and what you're supposed to learn for next year to help you prepare more for college and to get a better education.
About April, I think, we take the ACT Aspire, which is like a practice ACT, which gives you a little bit of an idea of what the real ACT is going to be similar to.
It's important to test to see what our scores could be for next year and see what classes we should be in.
To help us be ready in high school whenever we actually do take the ACT.
Take practices to help you become better.
You need to learn how it works, where you need to look to answer the questions so you don't take up all your time reading everything.
Test us on what we know so far, what we have learned during the school year.
What I do is I study. That's the biggest asset, is you have to study. And if you don't study, then you really will not pass. But as long as you study, you will do perfectly fine.
Sleep early, eat breakfast, and encourage yourself that you can do it.
Gotta sleep for a long time and eat a good breakfast.
Normally, on the day of a test, I like to eat a nice big breakfast and really just get mentally focused and just go at the test and do my best.
Make sure you get a lot of sleep because if you're tired, you don't want to be falling asleep during the test. And you eat a good breakfast because if you're hungry, you're not going to be able to concentrate and you're just going to be thinking about food.
You should get a really good night's sleep and eat a healthy breakfast so you're prepared.
Talk to yourself saying that you can do this, encourage yourself basically, and hope that you do well on the test.
You should inspire yourself, tell yourself you can do it, and just believe in yourself.
Here's some quick tips on testing. Get a good night's sleep before the test. The National Institute of Health found that sleep-deprived students have lower GPAs due to the fact that the lack of sleep impacts memory and concentration. Prepare yourself mentally. Motivating yourself and encourage yourself will prepare you for the test and remove any testing anxiety you may have. Eat a good breakfast full of protein. It is proven that eating breakfast improves particular types of skills that students use in taking tests. Lastly, do your best. You will never know how much you know unless you try. Study well and good luck on your test.
Testing happens on all levels of our school district. Take a look at these schedules.
That is a lot of testing. Amanda, before we go head into testing, I think we need a break to get ready.
That's right, Trenton. And this week's Choose Springdale, we look at the history of spring break and why we so desperately need it.
Spring break, a time for fun in the sun and a week where you get to do whatever you want. But what a lot of people don't realize is we have the ancient Greeks to thank. Back in about 100 BCE, they held the festival of Dionysia, which was celebrating the god Dionysus. He was the god of wine, and what they would do there is they just judge a bunch of tragedies, comedies, see their favorite plays. And then later on, Christianity decided to get a hold of spring break, but they called it Easter holiday. It was just a week-long celebration for their religion and when they believed that the Savior died for them. And then even further on down the line, back in about the mid-1930s, one swim coach decided to bring his team to Florida to practice in an Olympic-sized pool. They kept going every single year, and every year more and more colleges would join. Eventually, it became a giant party all the time where people would go and watch the swimming contest. And that is how spring break got started in the modern era. And now, even still, we continue to go through it when that swimming contest no longer exists. It's in high schools, elementary schools, colleges even. It even influences down in Mexico, where in Cancun, back in the early 2000s, late 1900s, there was a massive hurricane that destroyed half of the city. But they decided to rebuild, and they rebuilt it due to the tourism from all of the Americans during spring break. It became a spring break metropolis where everyone would go and have fun and just be happy for that week that they get to celebrate how they're doing in school. It's a week of relaxation, a week of fun, and a week of entertainment. So we hope you guys enjoy your spring break.
Trenton, so what are you doing for spring break?
I'm going to Atlanta. What about you?
Well, I'm staying right here at home. So if you are also staying at home, we have some suggestions for your staycation. Chelsea Hidalgo reports.
Are you staying home all by yourself this spring break? Or are your friends going to California, Cabo, and Colorado while you just lay at home and cry yourself to sleep every night? Huh? Are you? Well, I'm here to change that and make you get out of your house and stop crying yourself to sleep on this spring break staycation.
Let's get you out with Mother Nature. Because you being a homebody, you probably need some vitamin D. Take a visit to Beaver Lake. Not only can you soak in the sun, you can swim, fish, dive, and whatever else you feel like. As long as you're outside doing something. You like art? Do you like art? Then go to Crystal Bridges, there's lots of art there. Paintings, images, drawings, sculptures, even walking trails.
There's also a really good restaurant there too.
Do you know what the most incredible creature in the world is? That brings the strongest to their knees and inspires everyone. That's right, butterflies.
The best place to see these beautiful creatures is at the Botanical Gardens of the Ozark. There are gorgeous trails full of luscious greenery and flowers. It's insane. Are you tough? I said, are you tough? Only the toughest go hiking on the brilliant Mount Kessler. Go on in your tiny expedition around nature or relax for a crazy, rad picnic. The choice is yours.
Modern Mission is a place of new kinds of entertainment. Build friendships and have a great time with your family because outdoor and indoor laser tag is the way to do it. Get the thrill of paintball with a painless but exciting game of survival. Fast Lanes is your entertainment destination. Do you love arcade games?
Yeah, you do.
Do you love laser tag?
Yeah, you do.
Bowling?
Yeah, you do.
Do you want to get high? High into the sky?
Then come to High Rise and jump your heart out. Not only will you get a cardio workout in, but you'll get turned with all your friends as you jump all over the place, just like jumping beans.
Now you're prepared for spring break staycation. Get out of the house, or we'll come and find you and force you out.
Some great suggestions. You could also go to downtown Springdale and check out the skate park or go to the drum shop.
Here's what some of our students from around the district are doing for spring break.
What are your plans for spring break?
I'm going to see Beauty and the Beast, and I'm gonna go to my my grandma's house too.
I'm gonna go to Legoland for 2 days and then the beach for 2 days.
For spring break, I am gonna go to Texas to visit my family.
Well, for this spring break, I am ready to go outside, ride my bike, listen to the birds chirping, maybe stay inside sometimes, and yeah, play my Xbox.
I think I will have some basketball games and just relax at the house and play on the PS4 and have a great time.
Probably swim practice. I know I'm going to catch up on some homework and read, and I'm going to nap.
We are probably gonna go to this amusement park.
Do you know what some of your friends are doing?
I know that one of my friends, Colby, is gonna take a picture for a photo museum that we're doing.
Well, my friend Maggie, she gets to go to a cruise to go to Cozumel, Mexico, and I'm very jealous.
One of my friends, Victoria, is going to visit her family in California.
And what do you like about spring break?
Yeah, there's 104 days off. That I get to stay with my grandma's house a lot.
That you kind of get to sleep in a little bit. My favorite thing about spring break is to be with my family and spend time with them.
Birds chirping, and also that you get to wear shorts.
My favorite thing about spring break is that you get to relax and you get to hang out with your family and get a more of a good connection and get to know each other and just have a great time.
I like to hang out with my family a lot because it's just fun. I love my family, so.
There's no school.
What do you wish, or what's your dream to do on spring break? If you could do anything, what would you want to do?
I want to swim. Get $1,000.
Go to the beach. I would go to Miami and be with my friends in Miami and take them with me.
If I could do anything in the world, I'd probably travel to a different country and see how they do it in different places.
Geez, I want to go to a foreign country during spring break.
What do you wish you could do during spring break?
If you could do anything in the world. Like
Anything.
Make it longer.
Trin, I definitely agree with that last kid. Spring break definitely needs to be longer.
But don't we already have a 2-month-long spring break called summer?
So we're not so pumped about testing, but we are ready.
Well, coming up after this break, the National Guard rocked the gym at Har-Ber, and Bulldog TV gives us a story about that horrible disease that affects us all, senioritis.
Now, we check in with our video productions program across the district. It seems like everyone is thinking forward to the fourth quarter and the dreaded senioritis. Bulldog TV files this report.
Worst thing about being a junior is when people start asking you what are your plans after high school. Like, come on, I don't even know what I'm going to have for lunch. How about we ask some prepared seniors? One thing I can't run away from is the ACT. Now that's a total nightmare. but we have to get into college somehow.
Some good ways to prepare for the ACT are attending the ACT boot camps. They really help a lot, and taking practice tests as much as you can.
Senioritis, a supposed affliction of students in their final year of high school characterized by a decline in motivation.
I've had senioritis for a while now, and I guess I didn't deal with it the good way. I just let it overtake, but in the end, I kind of regret slacking off and not getting the best of my grades and doing all my work. And just a tip for you guys is show up to school and do all your work and try your best.
Yes, I have gotten senioritis. It's so hard to deal with, but just know what you want to do with your life and actually strive for what you want to do.
I'm not a senior yet, and I get senioritis. Everyone gets to be a senior at one point in their life, hopefully.
For more Bulldog TV, visit the Springdale School's YouTube channel and check out the Springdale High School playlist.
Staying on the theme of what to do after high school, the National Guard visited Har-Ber High School. They utilized some high-flying action to get students exhilarated about joining the National Guard.
It's provision, it's a platform, it's preparation for life after high school. Here at Har-Ber, we do more than just discipline and credit checks. In fact, we exceed the expectations of brick and mortar schools spanning across the nation, teaching students to become contributing members of society.
We're out here trying to recruit seniors and juniors into the National Guard, just trying to help get their way through college, make for a better future, you know.
Part-time service, full-time benefits. Whether you're looking to go to school, maybe have a blue-collar job, or just want some training or leadership skills, that's what the National Guard is for. You can join as a junior. That's when I joined at the age of 17. But if your plans are to go to college and actually pursue further education, whether it's something like a blue-collar job or traditional four-year college, then that's what the National Guard is for. Help you pay for school and also give you those skills to actually help you succeed in life.
BMX has the incredible opportunity to collaborate with the National Guard, decent exposure, and raising awareness for an incredible cause.
The National Guard kind of sponsors the action sport company we ride for. It's called AGA Nation, and they send us out to schools all over the nation, just perform and put on a good show for all the kids.
Basically to get exposure about the National Guard, who we are, what we do within the community, and things like that, just to basically show our face, show what we can offer, and the wonderful people that we work with.
Nothing comes easy to an athlete, especially with such high expectations and difficult tasks to undertake. It's not impossible, but it takes drive and dedication.
I have been riding for 17 years. I've been riding 9 years professionally. I started doing stunt shows straight out of high school, and I still compete and work on a few movies here and there. I'm doing stunt work. I ride about 8 hours a day when I'm home, 4 at the least. So a lot of training goes behind the scenes.
Practice. I mean, none of this comes overnight. No matter what you're doing, riding a bike, playing basketball, baseball, it takes years of practice to build up the muscle memory, just the confidence to do anything, really.
An intense journey to say the least, but it will forever be worth the extensive hours. These guys are impacting lives daily and living out their dreams in the process.
I guess we kind of give back to the communities by doing these shows. I mean, we're out here risking everything just to do a 30-minute show every day of the week. It's not always easy. It does get really hard at times, but if you just get back up when you fall down, you'll go in some amazing places and the journey will be unreal.
Whether or not you decide to join the National Guard, anyone can take away life-changing lessons from these professionals. It takes drive and dedication to succeed in life. Thank you so much to our military for serving our country. Your service does not go without recognition. For HBWN, I'm Ashlyn Grace Brothers.
Let's check in with Nathan Plowman for news around the district.
I'm Nathan Plowman, and this is News Around the District. East students at Helen Tyson Middle School created virtual reality tours of the Pea Ridge and Prairie Grove battlefields for the Language Academy Arkansas history students. This is a great option in lieu of going on field trips for the students to get a great look at the museum and battlefield as they study the Civil War. The virtual reality goggles and software are paid for by the SPSEF Grant Foundation. Students and teachers at Harp Elementary joined together with a Pack Shack to pack meals for students and families in need. The meals will go to Harp, Sonora, and Knapp Elementary. Halstern 6th graders Kinley Couch and Meredith Dozier finished first and second respectively in Division 1 of the Elks Lodge Regional Essay Contest on Americanism. Their topic was why it is important to vote. Both won plaques and cash prizes. There were over 160 entrants combined in Division 1 and Division 2. Elmdale students were busy reading to celebrate Read Across America Day. There were also some students and teachers in the Cat in the Hat spirit. For more news around the district, like and follow the Springdale schools on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
For more news around the district, check out the Springdale Schools Facebook page.
Coming up after the break, downtown Springdale is undergoing a resurgence, but in the heart of downtown Springdale is the Shiloh Museum, and has been there for nearly 50 years.
Springdale Today. Winner of 6 Student Pillars of Excellence from the Mid-America chapter of the Emmys. Winner of 5 consecutive All-Arkansas Awards, and member of the Broadcasting Hall of Fame from the Arkansas Scholastic Press Association. Springdale Today, your award-winning source for information and entertainment in the Springdale Public Schools. Find us on YouTube.
Northwest Arkansas and the Ozarks have a rich history, and you can learn all about that in downtown Springdale at the Shiloh Museum. Anna Ramirez files this report.
Springdale, Arkansas is the heart of Northwest Arkansas, known for Tyson food, the Northwest Arkansas Natural, and in the heart of Shiloh Museum. Shiloh Museum is known for showcasing Northwest Arkansas and the Ozarks. Alan Lord has worked with the Shiloh Museum for over 10 years as a director. And there are stories waiting to be revealed.
Back in 1965, there was a man named Guy Howard. He was a city attorney and then the judge, and he was getting ready to retire, but he didn't have much money. What he did have was this great collection of Native American artifacts from this area. And so the city decided to buy his collection, then he'd have some money to retire, and with that collection they'd start the museum. That was in 1965 though.
However, the Shiloh Museum was established on September 7, 1968.
3 years of planning, getting artifacts and exhibits ready. They had a part-time director at that time, but everybody else was volunteers. So about 3 years to get it ready and get it opened. The museum covers the history of the Arkansas Ozarks from the very ancient time before anybody was here, when it was all swampland and plants growing, and we have fossils from that time, up through the present day.
For the most part, I spend a lot of time with books, sometimes with photographs, depending on what people are looking for.
The Rudolph McDonald Log Cabin was built in 1850s at Elm Springs, Northwest Washington County. This cabin was eventually became part of a large house. A furnished room from that cabin is now exhibit inside the museum.
Preserving the history, they're preserving the stories of the people and the experiences that everybody had here.
As an assistant director, Carolyn Reno has worked with the collections since 1984.
This artifacts that we have go back to prehistoric times. The collection that founded the museum, the Guy Howard collection, has those artifacts. He was a collector of prehistoric material and Native American material.
Furthermore, the Shiloh Museum is well known for many reasons.
Well, we are very particular to the Arkansas Ozarks, and that's a very distinctive region of the state. It's very different from the rest of Arkansas because of the mountain ranges, and it just developed differently, so that makes us distinctive from the rest of the state museum.
we have a collection of images, so prints, negatives, and other kinds of early photos that is the largest in the state of Arkansas. We're nearing 1 million images, and that's extremely large for the state. And we're known for those images that get used a lot in student papers, in books, in films. Ken Burns films, PBS, CNN have used our photos. So it's a very big and wonderful collection of photos.
I think it's important to explain to young children about the history of Northwest Arkansas so that they have a basis for things that they see and things that they hear about when they go to other places like Pea Ridge National Park or Prairie Grove State Park, and hear about the Civil War, what was it like. So here at the Shiloh Museum we cover everything from when Arkansas first began, how it was formed, how this land was formed. It started off as a shallow ocean.
Almost everything we have in the museum was donated to the museum because people care about preserving their collections. And one of the big things every museum does, if they do it worth their while, is to hold on to artifacts and keep them safe, so secure, but also preserve them, so making sure the temperature and humidity is good, there isn't much dust or light or those things. So we do that with all of our collections. And we're on the land that was the original community of Shiloh. When the first white folks came here in the 1830s and 40s, they started a little community called Shiloh. Eventually it became Springdale, but we're on the land where that first little community started, so Shiloh. Along with mature trees from the area and native plants and trees and shrubs that would have grown here in the old days of what was originally called Shiloh. One of the things that's different is we have grounds, almost 3 acres of grounds. Besides our modern museum building, we also have 7 historic buildings that we've brought into campus.
The Cooper Barn was built in 1930 by Victor Cooper on a small farm north of Springdale. The animal-powered farm equipment house in the barn included a wagon. The Steel General Store was built by John Bell Steel. Dr. C. Carter Office was located South Washington County. The sandstone foundation kept the building high and dry and formed its spring house for food storage. A house was built in 1930s by William Cartmill. Wesley House was built in 1870s by Archibald Smith, a Baptist minister. Later on, the house and much of its contents was left to the Shiloh Museum in 1980s. The Oddfellow Lodge and Primitive Baptist Church was built in 1871. The Shiloh Museum is one of the most proud community of Northwest Arkansas.
Shiloh Museum is open 6 days a week from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and is closed on Sunday.
Thank you for watching Springdale Today.
Have a great spring break.